Welcome back to 405 Sports. Today, we're going to be talking about the top pitchers, starting pitchers available that I think will at the trade deadline. There comes a point in the season where teams start to figure out whether or not they're going to make the playoffs or not, and they become buyers and sellers. So these are a couple of players off of teams that I think I could consider sellers and some of the pitchers that will be available. So we'll start with Shane Bieber of the Cleveland Guardians. He started 19 games this year, has a 3.7 ERA, highest ERA he's had since his rookie year. So he's on the decline a little bit. 7.3 strikeouts per nine, which is the lowest of his career. Using his slider more than ever as the fastball velo starts to drop. You're not going to get as much of a return out of him now as you would have a couple years ago. I still think he's a serviceable pitcher and would be a good middle-of-the-rotation guy. I don't have any predictions for where he'll go, but I could see him being moved. Next, we'll go Paul Blackburn. He was an all-star last year, really good season. Then he got hurt and missed the end of last year and missed the beginning of this year. He's only started 9 games, has a 5 ERA, but he's striking out more people than he has ever at 9.2 a game. I think the A's will move him because he's really all they got. 50% chance they move him, probably. A good middle of the rotation guy, not an ace guy, but he was an all-star last year, so we've seen his highs and we've seen his lows this year. Next, got Alex Cobb of the Giants. I'm not 100% confident on this one. I just know he's going to be a free agent next year, and it's smart to sell high on somebody when they're good. And Alex Cobb's always been a middle-of-the-pack guy, but he's been really, really good this year. 18 games, a 3.15 ERA, 8.2 strikeouts per nine. That's number 2 or number 3 on most staffs. I think it'd be smart for them to try and get something in return for him, even though I don't consider the Giants to be sellers, but I think that's somebody you could see moving. Next, a team that I think will be sellers is the White Sox and Lucas Giolito. Started 20 games this year as a 3.9 ERA, still around 9.5 strikeouts per game. Had a tough year last year, but it's been a lot better this year. He's dropped his opponent's batting average from .272 to 232. That's a big jump. 232 opponent batting average is really good. That's a good rental player to have for the last 2 months of the year. I don't see why not trade for him. Then his teammate Dylan Cease started 21 games this year, has a 4 ERA. It's not good for him. He's still around 11 strikeouts per nine, so he's still striking guys out like crazy. Had a Cy Young level season last year, and that had a really good start to this year, but the rest of the year he's been really unreliable. He has highs where he looks like one of the best pitchers in the league, and then lows where he's a number 4, number 5 guy in the rotation. But I think it's worth a shot to try to trade him. Next, we'll move into Michael Lorenzen of the Tigers. Earlier in the career, he was a reliever, went to the Angels last year and became a starter. That's what the Tigers have done with him this year. He's got a 3.5 ERA, I think was an all-star. He doesn't strike out a lot of people, but he's really good at not walking people and just forcing weak contact. I think that's a guy that you'd want throwing every 5 days on a team that's in contention, or maybe to just have him on the staff. Then we'll have his teammate, Eduardo Rodriguez of the Tigers, obviously. Started 14 games this year as a 2.69 ERA, easily the best of his career. Striking out 9.5 dudes per 9 innings. It's worth noting he missed a month of this season with a ruptured pulley in his finger, which affects your ability to grip the baseball. So that's a little scary. He's made 3 starts since then, and 2 of them were really, really good starts, and one of them he got blown up. That's going to happen from now and then. I think that'd be a number 2 to a really good staff. That's a really good guy to trade for. I think there's a 90% chance that he gets traded at the deadline. Next is Marcus Stroman. Not really sure what the Cubs are doing. I think they will be sellers, but Stroman's one of those guys they could look to trade, especially with him and like Cody Bellinger. Started 21 games, Has a 3 ERA and striking out 7.7 guys per 9 innings. He's a ground ball merchant, number one in the MLB, actually, of inducing ground balls. Start of the year is probably an NL Cy Young candidate. Has slowly tapered off, but I mean that he's still a really, really good pitcher and can be ace-like when he's good. Next, we'll do the Cards teammates. First, we'll go with Jack Flaherty. Started 19 games this year, 4.39 ERA, striking out around 9 per every 9 innings. Hasn't ever gotten quite back to his 2019 form, but he's been better this year than he has been the last couple of years, and he's been dealing with some shoulder injuries here and there. Has been serviceable this year, and he'll be a free agent in the off season, so I think it'd be smart to move him. This is a guy that if he's not walking people, he can be really, really good. And we've seen what his peak looks like. I don't know if he'll ever get back to it, but if it's anything close to it, he's definitely serviceable for a team. And then the other guy is Jordan Montgomery. 19 games started. He started today, so I'm not factoring that in there. He did get blown up by the Cubs, but that's happened every single time he's pitched against them. There's something they got something there. He's got a 3 ERA, 8.3 strikeouts per 9. Of his 20 starts, he's got 10 quality starts. Has been the Cardinals' best pitcher for sure, even though he's not listed as the ace. He's a free agent this year, so definitely want to look to get a return for him. I think he's a really good guy to have throw every 5 days for a contender, and we'll definitely see him on the move. Some other guys you can maybe look for, like Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. Not really sure what's going on there. Scherzer has a no-trade clause, but he said he could waive it. Same with Verlander. Could see them on the move. And then Blake Snell, I think the Padres would get a good return for him, but he's made it pretty clear that he's not really wanting to be traded. He wants to stay and see how they finish because they've got a good team. They just haven't really put it together at certain times. Not really sure with how many of these guys will actually be on the move, but I just think these are top dudes that could be dealt. Obviously, you can factor in Shohei there, but he's his own other world. Anyways, yeah, that's it for the top pitchers at the trade deadline. Thank you for watching.